good morning here at the house. So today is Sunday. Going to do a bit of a good sized day today, not a very long one though. And the plan today is to do a lot of little odd jobs, but mostly is to start painting or start doing a mist coat of the paint in the main bedroom here. I'm going to give a base coat to the spare room, and I'm going to start cutting and fitting the skirting board. And I think that's pretty much all I intend to do today. I am accompanied by this little helper as well, so no doubt he'll be distracting me a good bit. I made a fire downstairs, not only to heat up the house, because as you can see from the last clip I did, the front wall there was very damp, it's now very dry. Still a little bit of moisture here and there, but that's to be expected. But yeah, hopefully the little boy down there, he's just going to sit in front of the fire for a while, because he doesn't really like to work when I make him. Okay, what I'm going to do for my first job of the day is I'm just going to do a bit of sanding down of this wall, all of the bits that are plastered, and then make it a nice smooth surface to when I get to it. It's just a quick little job, so I thought I'd do that, so therefore it blends in with the new stuff as well, and it'll be nice and done when it's painted. Right now, the little boy is dragging to be called up, so scratching at my face, here he is. And this is pretty much what he does all the time when he's with me at work. He's just always after being held, following me around. It's a cold concrete floor in here, isn't it? And yet, the fire with his bed, not too far, the embers don't catch him on fire, and a little space heater as well. Oh, can you see the space heater there? Oh, keep dropping the camera now. Anyway, that's the plan. Get that going. Get sanding, get some painting done. So as you can see, a nice quick job. That's just that little 3 foot sort of width, that's 6 foot down. Be a nice easy thing to get done. Just blitz this wall, blitz that wall where the fireplace is, the one where the doorway is. I'm not going to do this because it's still a little bit damp, and I'll let that dry a bit further. Again, it's a quick job. I can do this after work at any time. Okay, that's the front room done. I'm not going to sand that front down floor, I've decided, because it's silky smooth as it is, so that'll be absolutely fine. When I say silky smooth, there still needs to be a bit of a key, a texture for the paint to latch onto when I do paint the wall, and that is there just for the nature of the stuff, so that's fine. Once I put the mist coat on there, that will help suck it in as well. So that's good. Now, in the dining room. Okay, so just to describe and go over what I've done with these walls here, this is all downstairs, and remember, I'm not a professional, I'm not a painter or decorator or anything like that. All I'm doing is just tidying up the job that's been done so it's prepared and ready for painting. Now I'm not, oh here he is scratching again. Come on then, you join the camera. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm not looking for a perfect job, basically. I am a perfectionist by nature, so I need to really ignore that we're doing jobs like this. I've still to do the wall that's going up the stairs, but that can be for another day, I think, because I'm going to do the ceiling on the landing next. That's just the holes that I filled in before. Like I said, I abandoned one in that plastered after trying to get the plasterboard up there. It was so difficult. And when doing jobs like this, because it's not something I'm being paid for, it's something that I'm doing for me, it's a case of weighing up the benefits of the effort basically. Is it too much effort to be worth the result? And I think that is. I mean, like I say, this isn't going to be my forever home really. I'm going to be here a good few years, but I want it to be nice and tidy and presentable, and that's the case. I'll show you in a minute what my plan is with that. Well, the next job is going to be replacing the old doorknobs, and door handles on the bathroom. I've bought these nice new ones. Oh, these ones, they come with these horrible, I hate flathead screws. But I'm going to use them because they match. I don't have any silver screws at the moment to go with these, so I'll do that. Annoyingly, I didn't realise. I thought these were spring loaded and they're not. This old one is. So I think, we'll see how I get on with it, to be honest. I might end up just going with the old ones, but oh well, that's fine. I've bought all the packaging for this now, but I find a use for them. I intend to build doors for this here to make that cupboard once again, so I'll probably use it on that, but we'll see how we go. So what I've discovered there is that this piece of metal to go into the door handle, through the door frame and all that, is a little bit too long, and we've got a gap there. So that just means I'm going to have to trim this down with a hacksaw. In a perfect example of measure twice, cut once, I took the other handle off, see how much I'd need to take off, and look at that difference. What originally was about 1 centimetre is now actually a lot I need to take off. I thought that because when I took the old handle off, I looked at it and I thought, well, that could go deep into the inside of the other doorknob. So I thought, let's see what it looked like, and there we are. Normally what I thought would be a quick little changeover, it's actually turned out to be a long one. But it kind of makes sense because that goes all the way in to the centre of that doorknob. They're exactly the same, but these ones I'm willing to bet were a bit more expensive than these. Pack of 4 at a B&Q for these cost, I think it was 23 quid. So you get what you pay for. I decided to abandon that job because they're just a real bloody nuisance to cut, to be honest with you. This old hacksaw, I got the blades a bit knackered on it. I could do with my grinder for the fine tuning of the length of it. So no, sod it. It's just the things that really annoy me about these sort of jobs. Why don't they make things universal? Up next, because I've abandoned the door handles for now, I can't be doing that today. I haven't got the tools ready for the job, so I'm going to start doing the mist coat in the bedroom. I've just done a little bit out on the landing, nice quick job. Now what you do is you take your kind of basic trade standard white paint for doing these sort of jobs, and then you water it down to the ratio of 4 parts paint, 1 part water. Slap it on the wall. When you're doing that, you want to make sure that you're leaving no drips, no patches, no dry spots or thin spots, anything like that. Just so when you do get the final product on there, it'll be a nice, easy finish. A nice, clean bit. So what we're going to do in here is the walls, the touched up bit on the ceiling there, around the edges where the marry it with the other stuff, and that's it. 2.5 hours, and here is a fully mist-coated bedroom. It took a bit longer than I expected, but yeah, it's fine. It's a nice coat. So all I'm going to do now is have a little tidy up. It's about 2:30 now, I think. So I'm going to do a bit of mist coating downstairs, just use up the last of that bucket. Bilbo's getting a bit fidgety, getting a bit bored, so I think I might call it a day after that, just so I can take him out for a walk and give him something to think about. But yeah, it won't be a few days now until I come back really, because my parents are still on holiday, so I can't have help with Dad, so I'll look after Bilbo over the evening, so I shan't be doing that. So what's it, today is Sunday, tomorrow, no, just a normal day. Tuesday I got D&D day, so I've got friends coming around, so I won't be doing that then. Wednesday, picking up my parents from the airport, so I won't be doing it then. Thursday, I actually have to get stuff prepared for the following weekend, because from Friday onwards, I'm at the Battle of Hastings reenactment. So, busy old week, which means I won't be here for a while, but that's fine. This Wednesday is when the heating engineer guy's coming back. So when I do come back, that means I'll have heating installed. So I'll have to get my dad to come round and see those guys. I will probably nip home from work at lunchtime, I imagine, to speak with them, just to see how the whole system works. Other than that, see you next time. Howdy folks, here I'm back at the house. It's going to be a little short day today, so just a quick video for you. But this past weekend I was at the Battle of Hastings reenactment, hence the beard I was growing, and now I'm nice and clean shaven, got rid of that. I do prefer being clean shaven, it just feels a bit cleaner to me. Anyway, back at the house, today's plan is I'd like to see if I've got enough wood that I can make some new windowsills. Similar to styling this is the original from in the bedroom. I'm going to try and get that through everywhere. I just had a little play with some expanding foam for in the spare room here to fill this gap. And it's worked to a little bit. It's literally just to fill the gap so it's not such a hollow space under there. And the reason I did that was so it's got a bit of extra support, but it's got plenty of support. But the problem was I found it was just too big of a gap and too dusty of the old stone that the foam just wouldn't stick. And I put almost a whole can down there, and that's a lot of expanding foam. It's a big cavity, but I didn't really intend to use that much. It just wouldn't stick. So I'm not too worried about that. With that said, in fact it'll be easy to see it downstairs, I'll show you down there. If we go into the living room, you'll see where I've reseated some stones. So, well, bricks actually in this case. And these are the bits of wood that are in between there before. That's what the old stuff was nailed onto. I'm not going to nail it this time. My plan is to drill all the way through the wood, place it on there, make sure it's nice and level, and then put wooden dowels through there and glue them in place. And the reason I'm doing that is just so it's easier to remove in the future. I know this is going to be a thing that will eventually need to be removed. It may be a long time. It may over-survive the house, in fact. But I like to have that option available, and it's so much easier, because the problem I found with this, when they were nailed, when I was trying to remove the sill, remove the old wooden board, it flipped these bits of wood up, and by doing that, it flipped all of the plaster and just destabilised everything that was along there. That's why I had to replace all of those bricks, and I don't want to do that in the future, so that's the plan for that. Another update is all of the central heating is now installed and working, which is really good. I don't have to worry about damp anymore. This house has not had central heating like this in a very long time. So hopefully that will have eliminated all of the issues. In the last few clips I did some painting. So down in the dining room, I left that. And well, you'll be able to see it better than me because it hasn't been a week for you. But it is nice and dry, they're bone dry. All of the walls except that damp little corner where there is cracking in the render out front. And there is nothing I can do about that till I get some dry weather. And here we are in the middle of October. It's not going to be dry anytime soon, so I'm just going to have to suffer that. I'm going to have to hope that it doesn't do any long-lasting damage to that area. If it is, it's just a small contained area, so that's good. And that can be easily repaired in the future, hopefully. Well, I say easily, it can be repaired in the future. And that's that. So we'll see how we go on today. Well, there's one done. I'll just show you this one quickly. So what I've done here is I've cut it to size and shape. I haven't done a very good job of it, to be honest, because it was some funny angles. You can see some gaps there and stuff. but I'm not too worried about that because I've just filled that with window sealant and stuff like that. And then you can see where the little pegs, the dowels are sticking out. And what I'll do, you can see I've glued them in place with proper wood glue there, it's just PVA glue. And what I'll do there is I'll saw those off so they're nice and almost flush, and then I'll get a sander on there to sand that down and get rid of all the little nubs and things like that, all the little imperfections, because I'm just using a bit of old wood that come from, I think, a wardrobe originally. I'm just repurposing that, so that's fine. That come from the care home my dad works at, I think. It's just a bit of old smashed up furniture that he was getting rid of. And he's got another bit which I'm going to use in the front room because that's just the right kind of length and width and everything for me. And in the front room, exactly the same situation. So you can see before and after there. There's a before, you just saw after. What I did as well, a little top tip if you ever do things like this, if we go back you'll be able to see, is I marked with a pencil right there where the wood is underneath, and of course in alignment underneath as well. Hopefully you can see that, can't quite tell with this, with the light situation. And that's effectively how you make windowsills, nice and easy. Finishing off is sanding it off, either paint it or varnish it or stain it, anything like that. I'm probably just going to varnish it. I like wood effect, or just natural looking wood, so I intend to do that. If it looks terrible when I'm done, then I'll paint it. And at least then it'll match in with the bathroom. And I'll paint all of them, but I don't like to. I'd like to keep it all wood. That'd be nice.